That's awesome. Cool. Well, so this is the part of the podcast where I give you any marketing or business advice. It's more of a like a mini consultation. So, is there anything marketing or business wise that you're challenged with that you need an extra set of eyes and ears on that I can help you with?
Um, well, we're fortunate these days in that we have more work than we can handle, and but that therein lies also a challenge, a problem in that we can't engage with all of the potential customers that are trying to get us to do work with them,
Hmm.
and we're getting bombarded with requests to do work, and hey, we really want you on this job, and we're declining and saying no, or we're trying to manage it all and juggle it all and make it work so that we could get in there, do a proposal, and possibly get the project. And sometimes our communication breaks down. And so then you upset people because it gets to the day where they're expecting a proposal from you. You haven't started it, and you're 3 weeks away from being able to start it, and then it takes 3 weeks to develop it. So, I guess our biggest challenge is managing an influx of work and work requests. So it's a good problem to have, but it still has the challenge of you can piss people off and let down your customers at the same time. So I'd put that as maybe one of our challenges these days.
So let me see if I could sort of reiterate. The biggest challenge right now is you have more than enough work. Some of it you can, some of them you have to deny or just say no, and then the other ones you are already busy doing what you're doing that you don't even have time to even address it. Right? Is that the
Yeah, we're
biggest
trying
challenge?
to satisfy even our best customers, and we're not even able to fulfill even that what we call our A-list customers. We're not
Yeah,
even able to fulfill them, and you're sort of letting people down in a way,
yeah, yeah.
or you're trying to service them, but then failing at it because you didn't get to it when they needed it.
Yeah. So the one thing one thing comes to mind is have you heard the expression that if you are really really busy, then you're not charging enough? Have you heard that?
Yes, yeah, sure, that makes sense.
So so I think you're probably at the point where you could raise your prices, right? And well, I'll kind of I'll give you some frames of mind. So one is raise your prices, one. Two, come up with your ideal dream scenario for your customers, right? And so who's your ideal customer? What's your ideal project? And then set a criteria or a rubric for that. So it's like project budget, prestige of the project, right? Budget and project. And so you're like, okay, this is our rubric for the types of clients that we want to work with. And so
Yeah.
Hollywood, as a brand, we only work with projects of this amount and this prestige. Is it going to get us press? Is it a high profile project? Does it meet our budgetary needs? And then just stick to that. So maybe that's an internal decision that you and your team, like your senior management says, like, all right, this is Hollywood. This is a Hollywood woodwork level project that I want that will benefit us, whether it's commercial or residential. The second thing that I would potentially do is I'm sure there's a very small, maybe like a $5 million millwork company that that already exists. Maybe they're in a different part of Florida, or maybe they are, down the road from you, and I know you know who they are, right? Why don't you go to them and say, and then look at the people that don't fit the criteria, gobble that up into like, come up with an estimate of how much you think of project that those projects are worth. Go to those competitors that are smaller than you, or those peers, and just say, hey, look, we have these projects. We would normally take them, but they are not of the Hollywood woodwork stature. Why don't I throw business to you? And in exchange for that, you give me a piece of your business. And I will give you some of our processes and oversight, and I will give you 3 hours a month or 2 hours a month of advisory work to you. And we can potentially integrate energy into the whole process. So now Hollywood has, you're scaling. You have a piece of another company, you're throwing them more business, you're growing them, you're getting a piece of that business, and then you're making the whole process smoother by integrating energy.
So interestingly, that's similar to what we did last year with the residential company and implementing energy there. We did acquire them. But yeah, I can see where you're saying it could be even different levels of not even acquiring, but engaging, partnering with a company like that would ultimately increase our capacity, and we're helping them, they're helping us.
Absolutely. And it could be like a consulting for equity deal where you're throwing them. So that, let's say if they make $5 million and everything over $5 million that you throw to them, you get 20 to 30% of everything that you, and it could be profit interest. So maybe you're not on their, you're not part of their bylaws or their incorporation papers, that you're just getting a profit interest only. And then you're consulting them, 1 hour a week on how you grew Hollywood. That's one. Or you could just straight up acquire another company, take the owner, make them, and then integrate energy into the whole thing. So, but yeah, I would say one, charge higher prices, and two, come up with a standard for which you are engaging with clients. Like, what are you should probably only work with things that are going to be high profile or have the budget. Because if it doesn't, then you're probably better. It's not worth your time because you're busy as it is.
Yep. I like it. I appreciate that. I wrote them down, all three.
Okay, cool.